Hi, Mark Sikelski with the North Florida Bicycle Club, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about a part of riding in a pace line, and that is changes in the pace, and that changes should be gradual almost all the time. Obviously, there's times where they won't, but you want to do changes gradually because you've got a line of 3, 4, 5, 10 people behind you, and when things happen quickly, that's not always good for the line. Now, I'm going to focus on a specific aspect today, and that is when the person that's getting up front to pull is in a situation where they can't really pull at that pace. In other words, whatever pace the pace line is doing, I'm fine if I'm drafting behind somebody, but if I get to the front, I can't hold that speed. So personally, my recommendation is if that's the situation, stay in the back. Let people know that you're not going to be able to pull at that pace. You're going to stay in the back and let people rotate in front of you. I realize not everybody agrees with that. Other people will whine, well, so-and-so didn't take their turn, or you may say, I want to have my turn. But I generally don't like to see the line have to slow down, speed up, because it can cause some problems. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. Here's an example from ride number 1 that I did recently. And the person who got to the front dropped the speed of the pace line by about 2 miles per hour. And 2 miles per hour is a lot, whether it's 22 to 20 or 12 to 10, they dropped that speed down. When they were finally done and they dropped back, the person in front of them kind of gunned it, if you will. And by the time the person in the lead got to the back of the line, we had already increased about 3 miles per hour, because when you do that, you tend to overshoot what you're doing. Any guesses what happened to that person who dropped back? Yeah, they dropped real back. In fact, we dropped them. So pretty soon we had to slow down and let them catch up. And now they're even more tired because they're kind of sprinting, trying to catch up. And then you get the line back into the pace, so that taking off right away just caused all kinds of problems for the line for, several minutes. Now, ride number 2 I just had was the other extreme. Again, there was somebody who went to the front. I'd rather they weren't there, but they were. And they were about 2 to 3 miles per hour slower than what the line was doing. When they dropped back, the person who was in the front held a steady, gradual increase. It was probably over, a mile. I don't know how long it took them, but they took their time getting the pace line back up to pace. The person dropping back had plenty of time to get back in the line. So again, when you're leading, try and make sure that changes are gradual, coming off her curves, stops, taking over the lead. Try not to make changes happening really fast, because we want to keep the line together.